Alrighty, Sam, let's move on and have some fun with quite a few more stories we have here. So, folks, please like and subscribe. And then, yeah, Sam, so you've been kind of into this Johnny Depp, Amber Heard stuff.
Wait,
I've
wait,
been,
wait, wait,
oh,
wait. I wanted to say I genuinely watched for some reason last night. I again was having an insomniac episode, so I was insomniac period. Yeah, yeah. So I just watched the whole fucking thing live last night on
but say
NBC
to
or
people what the
MSNBC.
whole thing is. It's like a
The courts.
7 hour hearing.
It's yeah, it was a 3-4 hour hearing of Johnny Depp testifying in his defamation lawsuit against Amber Heard because of the article she wrote in Washington Post in which she indirectly implied that Johnny Depp is a wife beater.
Yeah.
So, but that's the context. But I just before that, I just watched that. I genuinely avoided any news coverage of it. You watched some of the highlights. How's the news coverage been
Oh,
of the thing?
no,
Was
I
it like
also
he
watched
was
some of
good,
the
he was bad?
clips. No, I also watched there were clips. So there were different moments of it that were hilarious. There was like
All right, all
people
right.
laughed at like his friend who
Nobody
was
said
there.
nobody said if he did a good job on the stance or not.
No, no, I didn't watch any kind of reporting on that. I just watched some of the raw footage and just went to see what it's about because they got divorced along. They were only married from 2015 to 2017. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna make fun of that. But they were just
No,
married
we
for
gotta
those
make
two
fun of
years
them.
and
Come on.
then I was like, what is going on? At 4 or 5 years later, they're in court. And I mean, Johnny Depp seemed like he brought on the case, but is he acting like it's a joke now or something? I mean, they were asking him about Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know what the hell was going on. He's like, yeah, I haven't watched Pirates of the Caribbean, but it did well, so I wanted to do more of it. I mean, they were just asking him all
No,
kinds
no.
of things. What the
It
hell is
was
going on?
no, let me explain. Man, I must say I was, as I
Is
mentioned
there any
earlier
more
in this
background story, sorry, that you think is needed to share?
yes, yes, there is. Okay, let me give okay, let's
Yeah.
the full setup. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp celebrity marriage. And we are doing, by the way, this story has no like value, calories, anything. Like this is like just we are doing this for fun. We both followed this news. We can talk about it. We know this is stupid. There is like planet is climate change, war, Ukraine, Yemen, everything. But let's talk about this. But yeah, so they got divorced. There was a their divorce was very nasty. They both shared a lot of news about each other, accusing each other of emotional and physical abuse. There was a court case in the UK regarding the defamation because she gave an interview to Sun or Daily Mirror or something saying that Johnny Depp was a violent person or wife beater or something along those lines. He lost that lawsuit,
Hmm.
and now then she wrote she penned an op-ed in Washington Post, and now in the US he's suing her for the same thing, for defamation. And to be fair to him, just to point out, he has, at least we know for sure that he was probably put aside from his role in the Harry Potter franchise
No, Pirates of
prequel.
the Caribbean.
No, no, no.
Oh.
This is Fantastic Beast. He was playing
Uh,
the. You don't know enough about. Don't correct me on movie news.
it's like Lord of the Rings.
This is one area I'm like master. Yeah, but yeah, probably the Pirates of the Caribbean too. But so he has. You could argue technically. You could. I mean, that's the thing. That's what the case he's bringing against her. That that he has suffered career damage because
Mhm.
of this for sure. So it's interesting because it's like I like to say very much in the beginning of this video that I am generally a feminist. Like I'm a feminist. It's not generally. Sorry. Shit. What did I do? But, yeah, did I say the right thing? Come here, help. But yeah, but in this case, from a lot of things that came out before the trial and all that, the image that was in my head, and I realized it was just the image in my head. It was not something I'm gonna make a final judgment on. Was that it seemed that she was far more abusive towards
Mhm.
him than he was towards her. But then again, there is a lot of other evidence that show things that you could certainly interpret things as him abusing her, perhaps. And but yeah, so should
Yeah,
I
that's
go
actually what I
first?
heard. Like one of the audio clips that I heard in court that they played was Johnny Depp trying to get her to admit that she punched him, and she was like, "No, I didn't punch you. I hit you, and like, look, nothing happened to you." And then he's like, "No, no, it was a punch and shit." And yeah,
Well, it was, I mean, I must say, I loved watching it. It reminded me so much
man, it
of
seemed like a
Boston.
joke. Like the clips that were out there seemed like a joke. Like I mean, when I saw the clips, like the friend, because I did see it out of context, but there's a friend talking about like talking about Johnny Depp had such a good friend, the one who like lives in like one of Johnny Depp's apartments and is an artist. Then when he
Yeah,
saw he just and Johnny Depp is such a like a character like a movie character looking person even in real life. So when he was sitting there, it just all
both
kind
of
of
them,
seemed
both of
like a big joke.
yeah. Well, let me give you a count of my thing.
Please, you saw
Maybe
so
it's a
much
bit
more.
of
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was, look, I have a bit of a fetish for anything legal. And again, it reminded me of Boston Legal. So, like, my favorite show growing up was Boston Legal. I love that show so much. I still to this day, I still dream sometimes that maybe I could do a course that is 1 year and then I could become a lawyer in the US, even though I'm not a citizen. But, it's my dream. I want to become a lawyer in the US, man. It's so much fun. Although I must say it's fun if you have patience because it keeps getting. I thought in the law they do all the discovery. You know what is discovery and
Yeah.
evidence and all that? Like the both lawyers from both sides check the evidence. I thought they do that pre-trial, but I don't know. In this trial, that was the only frustrating thing about
Sam.
the trial. Every 2 minutes, they had to cut the noise of the proceeding,
Mhm.
and they would go. They approach the bench,
Yeah.
and they would talk with the judge. They, and it felt like you felt so left out. Like, what are you saying? Come on, tell me what is there. And then
No,
they go back. That was the most annoying part. But besides that, man, basically
but
it
hold
was
on. I
fascinating.
just have something to say
Yeah,
about
sorry.
that. Like seeing that, and my understanding is also that you go over what is admissible as an evidence before, right? So you don't
Yeah,
decide
yeah,
that
I
during
thought
that.
so.
But every day you learn something new. There's like a new show or documentary. I can't remember if it's a show. I think it's more like a TV show about this girl who like encouraged this guy to go to commit suicide, right? And so she went to jail in the US for a year. She decided that she didn't want a trial with the jury and she just wanted the judge to judge the case. And that was an option. And the judge is like, okay. And then he just went on to be the judge without a jury. So apparently that's like an option. So if ever you get in trouble, just know whether you trust just the judge or the jury.
Or the jury.
My wife and I were
I go
talking,
with the
but I was
judge.
like, I'd probably go with the judge. I don't know.
Me
But
too,
yeah,
man.
there are all
I
these
do.
options we were unaware of.
Juries, the people I've seen on juries are the weirdest. Like, I think, like, if you can't get out of jury duty by just lying a couple of things, then you have certain issues.
Hey, I
But
wouldn't mind doing it once. It would be a good experience.
mm,
Come
I
back
would
here, talk about it.
say what you say reminds me of Silicon Valley and arbitration. I assume in that case both sides have to agree though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember in Silicon Valley, do you remember the idea that you can have
No.
instead of a court go to a arbitration, which is a faster process than a
Okay.
court system? It also exists in international business, I
I
believe, that
see.
it's a faster way of dealing. But I believe both sides have to agree to go to that. Like it's not just one side saying I
Mm-hmm.
want to judge or
No,
whatever.
here it kind of made it seem like it was the defendant who got to pick. And then the judge was like, okay. And then they just proceeded as if it was a normal trial, but
I have,
it was
yeah,
so
I'm not
funny.
familiar. Is
Everything
that in
was
US?
yeah, is in the US and everything was said to the judge. So like their opening statement and all this, they like completely changed it and they were just speaking to the judge directly, the lawyers, because yeah, there was no jury. That's what the person decided. Anyway, continue,
Yeah,
please.
very fast. Yeah, court system is fascinating. Anyway, but I must say I enjoyed it so much, man, because I have takes on everybody's thing. It's so stupid. So right now, guys, we're gonna delve into somebody who has not studied law, who doesn't know really anything about American law or anything. He has seen a lot of TV shows though about law in the US and in the UK. So I think that makes me an expert, like a
Yeah,
pundit
if you say
on
so.
this matter. But I feel the strategy of the Amber Heard's team was to establish Johnny Depp as a drunk and as somebody who does things when he's drunk or under influence of drugs without his own knowledge, and he becomes violent according even to his own statements when he's under the influence. But maybe he doesn't even know about it. Like a lot of times they say, maybe you don't remember this, maybe blah, maybe this. And frankly, I don't know who was Johnny Depp's lawyer in the UK trial, because most of the problems with Johnny Depp's statement was that the lawyers from Amber Heard's team, they could show that in the UK trial he had said a different thing.
Interesting.
You know, yeah. So they could show contradiction between his statements now and his statements in the UK. But I would say he did a great job on this stance, and he overall came across as very sympathetic figure whose actions are being exaggerated by the lawyer. That was the feeling I got. By the way, I don't want to take a side on this because it's a case of a violence of two people against each other. But like, I don't want to take a definite side because it's one of those cases that makes you think it's so hard to become a judge or be on a jury, because there is a lot of evidence that Johnny Depp right now contradicts his own past statements. But like, just it does kind of also make sense to you that, for example, there is one bit he says, when they say, were you drunk and under influence? And right now he says, no, I wouldn't say I was drunk. I had a drink or something like that. And then they show the transcript from his UK trial in which he says, sure, you could say I was drunk. So it's not exactly he's saying I was drunk, but sure, you could say I was drunk. Or, oh yeah, like in the UK trial, he seems so annoyed and just like, yeah, whatever, man, just whatever, whatever. But in this one, he seemed very like talk to the lawyers, very, all that.
Yeah. No, I got that impression too from
very
the few
prepared,
clips
very
that I
prepared.
saw.
Yeah. And he was kind of funny. He was lighthearted in a good way. He was,
but she was very
like,
serious,
trying to break tensions.
Yeah, but she
was laughing all the way through. But then they
really?
play this video. Yeah, they play this video of him. This video that she, again, it's hard. I don't want to take sides, but it does feel like she seems to be a bit more manipulative, at least in the proceeding that went on. And it's a personal opinion. It's not a generalization or anything at all. I just want to say in this specific case, because she clearly records him without his knowledge. And then the way she's like trying to hide the camera and all that, and all, and he's angry, but he's not violent towards her or anything. So, and then after that, and Johnny Depp is like, well, it's very interesting that she illegally recorded me and all that. After that, her face is just, because she's an actor as well, maybe that's why I get this feeling. Her face is just like this from then on.
Yeah, exactly. That's what she looked like. Exactly.
That's after that. Like as if this, like, almost like a cliche of a character of a woman misrepresented by her husband. Maybe that's the case, though.
It could be. I mean,
so, because he did contradict himself quite a lot from his UK statements. But
I mean, I don't know Johnny Depp whatsoever, but I'm willing to believe a lot of things except him being able to be manipulative. I don't know. It doesn't strike me as
he's very powerful.
Yeah, he's powerful, and he might manipulate people.
He's
like
attractive. I don't know.
Accidentally by giving them like a house or money and stuff. But him kind of being like strategizing like this in the head. Let me film
Could
this.
be.
I'll use this after. I don't know. Doesn't strike me the kind of guy. But of course, I'm judging a book by its cover. Really, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, man, it was so weird because, yeah, you don't know how to like. Then they talk about there is one big point of argument is his chopped up finger,
Mhm.
right? So one of his fingers have been chopped off slightly. He claims that it was done by her when she threw a bottle at him. She claims he did it on by himself, like when he went crazy on drugs and all that, right? And then, for example, the whole debate is on the you in a text you refer to it as when I chopped my finger off. And then Johnny Depp argument is that, yeah, I did say that, but it's like I'm not saying that I chopped my finger off literally. I'm referring to the time that I chopped my finger off. Like, when if you, for example, on a bicycle and you
Yeah, you
get
say
hit
when
by a car, you say I broke my leg. You don't say the day that a car hits me and I broke my leg. So the whole thing becomes this like a discussion about language
yeah.
and the use of language, and it's
No, but and
almost
you would speak
impossible.
like that. Like you do speak like that. You would say like, when I got hit,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
no, or like sorry, when I hurt my
When
leg,
I
or
broke my leg.
when I broke
Yeah,
my leg, but referring to when you got, I don't know,
but
hit
but
or hit by a
but
cyclist.
but
So
also it could be that you did chop
yeah,
your finger off, because then they also show that he did, after the finger was chopped off by him or by Amber Heard, he did dip it in paint and then wrote his stuff. And again, that doesn't like okay, none of this sounds normal
no,
to me.
but
So
I believe more him chopping his own finger than him being like kind of manipulative. I guess this is being manipulative, but this I can see, like, I mean, because he is a wild character,
oh,
I mean,
you
like
don't think she broke?
this one, I believe either way. I believe both ways that he did it or that, because
Oh,
he
man.
does
So
seem
you
like to
don't,
be
yeah,
quite
no.
nuts.
Sure, but then again, according to all the stories, she is to like her personal assistant a day
Yeah,
before
no, for
something was
sure.
saying that she would spit in my face.
Yeah,
Her
no, she's
mother
yeah.
and her sister are afraid of her. Everybody, I mean, the whole thing. And then, man, the personal messages. By the way, like we're best, like we're friends, right? Like
We know each
closest
other.
friend. Like, yeah, no, they shared some of the messages that John Depp had sent to his friends and all that. I don't think like some of the things were said, both in terms of just like the words used, like the insults, and just the sentiments expressed. I don't like, even if I have those feelings, I
Yeah.
wouldn't share them with anybody, even my closest. Like it was so dark and personal and all that. I don't know. Like I found it the whole thing so weird. Like, that you would talk about your ex-wife to a friend so open. Like
I mean,
even if you feel like
ex-wife.
the whole thing was weird.
People have
Yeah.
acquaintances who they know
Or
longer
ex-husband,
than.
whatever.
No, I'm just saying, like their
That's true.
marriage and
That's
stuff.
yeah,
Like,
that's true.
I wonder if he cared about more about her than like his doorman. I don't know. I'm just like making it up. But yeah, even if you don't care about someone, I can just imagine like such harsh texts and shit. I haven't seen them, but yeah, I can imagine they can be extremely
A lot of C word,
horrific.
man. A lot of C
Wow.
word. A lot of oh, I hope it's a corpse. I hope this is an idiot. It was just like Jesus. Like, uh, yeah, I don't know. But I would say I took a very brief look at Twitter, and Twitter really agrees with you. And I think one thing that everybody points out, and I put that a bit up as my own defense, is that there is a recording of her literally saying that, yeah, go tell the world how I hit you, see who believes you, sort of. It's almost to this, it's like
Mm.
nobody believes a man who's been physically abused, sort of thing.
And so, what does Twitter say?
So
What does Twitter fall on this?
like you, everybody thinks like Johnny Depp was on his was sort of almost proven right, and there is a tape on
Yeah, I
this
was just
that
making
I
sure
think,
what I said.
yeah, everybody is like Johnny
Double
Depp
check.
was more successful in his defense. And there is a specific tape of Johnny Depp that I think the team of the Amber Heard team made a mistake by playing, which is Johnny Depp in, I would argue, in pain, or I don't know if it's physical or like drawing emotional pain. And then they view that as sort of a thing that sort of showcases his under not being under control and all that. But I feel the tape comes a bit across as Amber Heard manipulating, as soon as somebody's passed out drunk and in pain, sort of filming them or recording them. Maybe that's just how it comes across. It's just it's a case that gives me such, like, I don't want to make any fucking final decisions on.
Well,
But
good thing you don't
everybody,
have to.
yeah, thank God. Yeah. But everybody on Twitter is pointing out to that, like, tape from older times that she says that, go to media and say you were abused by a woman, see who believes you, or something along those lines.
I see. And then
But yes, so I had a very, very, uninformative. I pretty much lost 30% of my IQ last night by watching this trial. But it was
I mean,
fun.
just the clips that I saw, it seemed like a bit of a freak show.
Man, I must say the lawyer came across as such a sort of a goody two-shoes.
Who's lawyer?
Oh, the Amber Heard's lawyer. Because, I mean, the whole time he was like, oh, did you do drugs? Is that a sign of cocaine? Is that a sign of cocaine? Did you do cocaine? So, oh, is that Amber's fault as well that you did that? He came across as a bit of a bad guy in a movie. But I don't know if that's necessarily to be honest.
No, apparently that is a thing, though. That is a thing you need to be careful. Like in the Elizabeth trial and stuff, they were talking about, there's like, sometimes you actually have to refrain yourself as a lawyer because you don't want to seem like too much like taking it out on this person, and then the jury just starts becoming more sympathetical towards this person.
There was one point, even judge went like, that's argumentative, which is the legal term for exactly that. And that was when he was like, because Johnny Depp was like, I don't think somebody would, this friend of mine would say that about me. And then the lawyer went, maybe he said it when you were passed out, with all due respect. And then, objection, Your Honor, objection, Your Honor, from the, Johnny Depp's team and all that.
Man.
But my
theory
though is that I doubt Johnny Depp is going to win this case, because from what I understand, from my very, very, very limited understanding of U.S. libel and defamation and slander laws, is that it's extremely hard to prove. And it's pretty much like, okay, it was an opinion anyway, like it was her opinion. But I do think Johnny Depp is gonna come out of this trial somewhat cleansed, because he's gonna, like, the court of public opinion is gonna be very much on his side by the end, I think.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
In that sense, it's worth it for him, I guess.
Yeah,
because I doubt he's gonna, if he lost in the UK, and UK has much more stricter defamation laws. So if he lost in UK, I would assume he's gonna lose in the US as well.
But you're absolutely right. Like, that's enough for him. I think if he comes out sympathetic, because that's it, right? Then the movie producers and directors and studios won't be afraid working with him. His image will be improved in Hollywood. And even now, I don't feel like it's, he's missed out on some stuff. I don't follow his career too much, but it hasn't been plagued to that extent. And Amber Heard is also not like she herself, perhaps not, I'm not saying me, but perhaps in the public and stuff, she could probably easily have some image issues as well. Like, I don't think she's like viewed as like, I don't know, some kind of like darling in the sense where there are like a lot of people in the public.
She has a history of domestic abuse, but one of her former partner has accused her of domestic abuse. As far as I know.
So yes, I mean, I can see her not having that. So it might go, it might go well for him, because otherwise winning it would be what anyway? It'd be like what, getting a little bit of damage out of her, and I guess.
Oh no, you get a lot of money, man. You get a lot of money in damages.
But I'm sure money is not his main concern, really. Like, fixing his reputation is probably much more important. So whichever way that comes.
Yeah. That's what I assume is this whole thing about.
Man, but this objection, my honor, can we like incorporate that somehow into like our podcast? Like, you say something, I love that. Please, and I just say objection, my honor, and everybody has to forget what the last like 2 minutes of you talking.
I love that. No, I love it. There is one bit. It doesn't happen as much as you like it, as does in TV shows. There is one bit that the judge says, "Strike that from the records. Please dismiss that to the jury." And I'm always interested to know, how do you like? Okay, let me just let me just erase that from my brain. Like, how do you? And I love whenever they break for recess, he's like, "Okay, guys, don't research this. Don't talk to anyone about this case, please." Yeah, it's like honor system. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, right? Like in that documentary and stuff with the football player, what's his name?
Elizabeth Holmes.
No, the football.
Oh, I thought it was the.
No, the American football player, the murderer.
Oh, O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson. Like him, they kept the jury, and I guess back then they didn't have internet issues, but they kept the jury in a hotel. But they also kept them at a hotel, so they couldn't go home, watch TV, read the news, talk to their partner. Yeah, that's funny. But okay, guys, anything I've said during this podcast that was messed up, forget about it. Okay, just erase it. Just remember
objection,
the good
stuff. Strike it from the record. Strike it. But I must say though, I do genuinely feel like, is it bad to watch this? I don't know. It feels like it's a waste of time for sure. But then again, what isn't a waste of time? And I mean,
listen, the worst thing hadn't happened. The worst thing in the world hadn't happened, right? Like they both can barely showcase like that there was any kind of domestic violence. So, there wasn't like sexual abuse of children going back,
black eyes
or things like that. So, I mean, it's not like.
No, I'm just saying, as a human being, is it very wrong to do, like, it's a personal life of two strangers, and I watch it. Why? Because they're like, it does feel like very shallow activity, but yeah, whatever.
Look at Understanding Sam again. Seriously, you're trying to do away with that. Contrarian Sam really pushing this agenda of understanding Sam.
It's not. It's self-critical. Sam. It's not understanding.
Reflective Sam.
Reflective.